What's good? It's your boy Kev, and today we are doing a oil change on my 2016 340i. I just woke up and I said let's run it, so we're gonna get straight into it and let's make it happen. So first thing you want to do is obviously you want to jack your car up. Put a jack stand underneath so accidents don't decide to happen while you're under there. Then you're gonna want to go into your garage, grab your 32 mil. Big old thing. This is for the oil filter housing to get off. So you're gonna need this. Very important tool. You're gonna want to shimmy that thing down there. Come here. You want to shimmy that thing down there, right? Now, hopefully you've been changing oil yourself because it's very inexpensive to do and very easy. Also, you're not gonna torque this down insanely for no reason. Should be very easy to get out, no hassle. Again, that's if you've been doing the oil yourself. Now, if you trust some other shops to do it, hey, nothing wrong with that. But we do things ourselves around here. Now, typically, I like to change my oil every 3,000 to 5,000 miles. This time I kind of let it go further because your boy been broke today. Some interesting times going on right now. Almost got this bad boy off. Here we go, it's coming out right now. Nice and easy. Now what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna put on some gloves because it's gonna get a bit messy. Just gonna pull this thing out. So I like to just pull this out the way. Use this as a little holder. There she is. Ooh, look at that. Little dark. Nothing too crazy though. Should be all right. And another thing I really like to do is I like to check these to make sure this thing's fighting me. So getting these out sometimes are a pain in the ass, and you kind of gotta like manhandle these. So don't be afraid to. Now, sometimes the little filter part, if you had this on too long, it'll break off inside either this or inside your oil filter housing. And I know the fix for that is usually for people to go and buy a new one, but I saw that you can get it out with a pick, so don't be alarmed and don't be too afraid. I'm about to manhandle this now. There we go. Bam, got it out. Look at that. Set this aside. Now you want to pull this O-ring off. Nice, clean, fresh O-ring. I actually got to pull this out the car, so I'll be back. I don't know if this is the right one, actually. So I may have ran into a little issue here. This seems to not be the correct one. So we may be dead in the water for a little bit because I tried to do something different. What I am going to do is go inside and check to see which oil filter this actually goes with. I don't think this is going to fit for our application, seeing how Actually, I don't know. Okay, I'll take that. Oh, wait, hold on. I don't know if that's gonna work for what we need, because there is a little locking mechanism on this that goes down, and then you twist it and you screw it in, and that's how it locks into place to keep this, you know, obviously stable and not moving. If you see the bottom of that, I don't know if I'm too close to the camera or not, so we may have to do something else. We ran into some issues. Seems like I said, the oil filter housing that not housing, but the oil filter that I bought, this Mobil 1 not correct. Part number, what is it? M1C455A. Don't think that's gonna work for what I need. We're gonna see if that other part number, I think it's like M1, same starting M1C, but I think it's like 4-3 something like that. But we're gonna see if that's the correct one, because not it. Also, this gives me time to take this bucket over there and get it sorted out, because low-key I was gonna run it without having the like this oil bucket full. Okay, for example, look, this is what I mean. Like, so this oil bucket, I was gonna run it. This shit's like halfway full, and I was just gonna send it, dog. I got the bucket down there, and I was just gonna be like, well, if that fills up, if I do the oil fast enough, that shit'll like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could just take it there, but it'd be all right. We'll see what happens. Okay, so while we're back here waiting for my mother-in-law to come pick me up, I just wanted to give a little insight about what I've been doing with the E46, since I know I haven't been making like much stuff about it. So I recently got the motor pulled, and I ran into this issue where when I was doing my oil pan, I accidentally, I don't know if you'd be able to street see it, but one of the bolts got stuck. And I have yet to actually try and get that out, because I really don't want to mess that up. So hopefully one of my homies will come over. I mean, if not, I'll ask if somebody else can come help me out with this, because I'd rather not mess that up, and then, you know, I go to try and put everything back how that is, and then I have an oil leak right there, which would really suck. I could JB weld the hole, but again, then what I'm gonna do? Then what am I going to do when I have to drop the pan again and work on anything else? Overall, I mean, the engine's still great. I got a new filter, because this one's kind of beat up, honestly. I mean, it's seen better days. I need to clean the cold air intake or hot air intake, however people want to slice it. I do have to rewire the oil pan, because, okay, so this is a motor that I bought from my mentor, and pretty much it's been sitting for years. But I guess whoever had the car beforehand, when they did the oil pan job, I guess they did the same mistake and dropped it on accident. And the cords, like right here, like the wiring itself, it was already like this. So it just slipped out, which is, I mean, it's cool. You know, it's whatever. It's not a big deal. It was just surprising, because I was like, dang, how'd this like slide out so easily? But I mean, it is what it is. It's not going to take that much to rewire that. Transmission is still on the ground, as you can see down there. I need to obtain a new clutch. I'm still debating on if I'm going to go with the Vallejo clutch, or if I'm going to go with the Clutch Max Stage 1. Again, I'm not making much power, but I think it's a really good, I don't know, it's a really good budget clutch. But yeah, we'll see. So, back in my garage, ended up grabbing this Wix filter, WL10342. I potatoed last time, ended up getting the wrong thing. Here's the filter. Now we're just gonna put this in here. Well, actually, before we do that, I'm skipping steps. what I like to do is I like to get a flathead in this. Oh. And just pull this out like this. Because got to replace your O-rings, guys. Can't be running high-powered vehicle with crappy O-rings. That's how you destroy stuff. So I just take a little flathead, go around the edge, lift it up. Now, I could be doing this with gloves, but I'm not doing it with gloves. I'm lazy, so. Now we're just going to grab this right here. I know you guys hear my son going crazy in the background. Oh, hey, you know what? I didn't realize this was a Ziploc bag. So, damn. New O-ring over the deal.
Daddy, what are you doing?
I'm working on the oil filter right now, son.
I'm working?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
So we got this in. Now we're finna go back to the car. So we're back at my car. And I just want to talk about this Mobil 1 car here, European car formula. It's 5W40. Now, usually I don't use 5W40. Usually I like to stick with 5W30. And it's because I was using liquid moly. Hold on, let me go grab it. So, usually I would get liquid moly, 5W30 Special Tech, but I'm gonna try out this Mobil 1 5W40 just because I'm curious to see if it's gonna hold up well. Yeah, I'm just curious to see if this 5W40 is gonna hold up well. I've lost an oil cooler while on liquid moly. And I'll be honest with you, I was a good amount, like I was at least 20 miles from my house, and I was able to like fully limp the car all the way to the house, kinda ish. Like I was able to limp the car all the way to the house, but and the oil held up really good. It just came out to be really, really black. But it kept everything lubricated, and that's really what I liked, was that extra added safety that liquid moly have. But again, we're gonna try out this Mobil 1, see how it feels, maybe do a couple pulls and see if the car likes it. I do have a set of coil packs coming in because my car has had a weird idle. It's kind of been like intermittent, like misses. It had nothing too crazy that comes up as a check engine light, but just intermittent misses. So when I get those coil packs in, I'll replace those. I'll do a video on that as well, but I'll replace those, and then we'll see, you know, how she acts. But right now, I am going to go ahead. I have the new filter in. Need to lock it in place so it doesn't decide to get everywhere. Pop in. This one's not. Find it odd that this one's not locking into the mechanism. Well, it's very weird. Usually when you put this in, it's not supposed to go anywhere. But I guess it'll be all right. We'll see here again. This is me trying out different products. This is a Wix filter. We'll see how it goes. I like the hand tightness first before going in with the wrench, because you know this doesn't need that much pounds of torque. It's only like 5 Newton meters, nothing too crazy. So you don't want to over tighten that, because remember, if you're doing this yourself, you got to be the one to pull it off. And with how the pressure is, oil pressure works, as soon as it gets up to pressure, it's automatically gonna suck this down and it'll be good to go. So again, you don't need to torque this any crazy amount. I don't know why, but while I love having gloves on to keep my hands clean and messy free, I think it takes away the feel for certain things, and it's very hard to like gauge if you're on something. So we're just gonna tighten this down. Like I said, no crazy amount of torque on this. Doesn't really need to be like super duper tight. Like I said, when the car gets up to pressure, it's gonna suck everything down. It's gonna be good. It's gonna work well. Just want to get it so at least it's flush and tight. That should be all right. Well, I do want to double check just in case. I don't know if I put the O-ring too far, not far enough. Kind of felt weird going down. I don't like that. Yeah, I didn't see the O-ring anymore, so let me double check this. And see, that's what I was talking about. So like when I first bought the car, I had this weird issue where that, like I said, the filter got stuck, and that was an issue for me because I had to go get an entirely new oil filter housing. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that job was not fun at all. Just checking this O-ring, making sure it's good. I have it in correctly. Yeah, it's good. This is actually staying on. I'm quite surprised. But yeah, so I had to go get a whole new oil filter housing. And I'll be honest with you, that was when I was first getting into BMWs. So I personally didn't have the tools to make the job go easier. On top of that, again, it was my first time really having a BMW that was newer and trying to understand the platform. So I'll be honest with you, the job sucked. I mean, obviously having the tools to do the job would have made this so much easier, but I have decent sized hands. I don't have like crazy big hands, but I have decent sized hands, and it was very hard to reach. I didn't pull the DME out to actually reach the stuff better, because I have seen that you could just pull this off. The way I went was intake off, undo all the connectors, and then I think we used like 3 or 4 swivels just to reach those bolts for the oil cooler down there. And then like it was a lot of shimmying. I had one of my homies come through and help out. He has smaller hands, so it definitely made it easier because of that. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I do not recommend that job to anybody because it sucked. Really did. Not a fun job at all. So if possible, like I said, you know, don't want to torque this down too much. I don't know why that's not fitting as flush. It's still at a gap there. I don't like that. Yeah, there is a kind of a gap right there. And I don't know why. I don't like that at all. That's an issue for me. because usually it would just sit flush on there. So I'm really trying to understand what's going on. I don't know if this is not lining up properly. Yeah, I don't know if this is not just lining up properly at all, because it's not sitting flush. Like I said, that's an issue. So I need to figure this out. I hope I'm not accidentally cross-threading this either, because that would suck equally as well. And it's plastic, so I mean, you could mess up the threads, but man, you really don't want to mess this up, because this, like I said, not a fun job to do if you mess up this oil filter. So something's not right there. Oh man. I'm praying this is not messed up. If it is, I just be dead in the water. That might be cooked. It's always when I want to record something. Do something wrong. Just my luck today, huh? Gotta make a video and then random shit happens. Whew. Well, the one thing I was afraid of happened. Thank God I got it off. What the heck? Need to compare something. Okay, I'm not really tracking why. You know what? I do see the difference. All right, so I'm seeing here that this Wix filter versus a regular BMW filter, the sizes are different, and it's ever so slightly. So I cannot use this Wix filter. So what we're probably gonna do is, I am probably gonna do what you should not do. I am probably gonna reuse this because this is BS, and I'm not trying to fuck my car up. So yeah, we're actually gonna put the. I use some of the Wix parts, but I'm not gonna use that Wix filter. I would rather just run this a little bit longer and buy a new one, because yeah, I don't trust that at all. Not one fucking bit. Not one fucking bit. So yeah, not a fucking bit. Hell fucking nah. Because I've never ever had an issue. Yeah, I've never ever had an issue with an oil filter change, with an oil filter switch. So I'm no to the fucking Wix. If you decide to go out and get an oil fucking filter, do not go with Wix. You will fuck your car up. Cause hell to the nah. Had me in this bitch panicking. Yeah, this shit seamlessly. It's just going down seamlessly. Yeah, fuck that. So you got me wondering if the gasket's even okay, but we'll see if it tightens down fully. Yeah, and that's the thing I don't get. It's not even, it's just all bad. It's just all bad. Yeah, it's not even tightening down. Yeah, usually this shit would just tighten all the way. So I don't know what the hell is going on with that. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest with you. I just put the same O-ring and filter back on because it seems like that O-ring is off ever so slightly as well. So I'm not going with that shit at all. Yeah, see, and now it's tight. Yeah, we're just gonna rock this. We're just gonna rock this filter and O-ring for a little bit and call it a day. Cause hell the fuck nah.